What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another Sunday breakdown. So today's video I'm gonna start with pound Aussie. So on a bigger time frame, what we had is sort of like a boundary on the lower part. You had this support and you had this resistance on top here. Then you had price moving down and it was supposed to head onto this resistance. Then it just failed and started making an upward movement towards this resistance again. So right now I think that's the maximum point that we can have. This is the maximum point that we can have. We won't be able to reach this highest high again. So going to a smaller time frame, let's just skip to 2 hour time frame. I think that will be more convenient. You can actually see the whole movement to the upside that we wanted. So this is the movement that I was talking about. So price went down, bounced, bounced, went down. Now it's actually moving towards here. So first of all, what I could have done here, so I made this mistake last week and I actually learned from it. So usually what I do is draw this ascending channel towards this resistance again. Then usually I sell at the highest high. So I wait for price to break this red line, then test this resistance, and from there I can actually sell and price moving down till this area, right? So last week what I had, let me just go on a small time frame and I'll show you. So let's go on a 45-minute time frame. It was actually on pound Swiss, so no, pound Kiwi. It was pound Kiwi. I actually sold early. So this is what I did. I mean, first time that I'm making this mistake in a long time now. So I actually waited for a break here, then I sold. So what I didn't take into consideration is like price really hasn't reached this point. So if you are selling here, it's only like lucky. If you're lucky, you can actually get a profit, but usually price will just retrace and move to the upside, then you end up getting a loss, because usually if you sell here, that means your stop price is probably maybe above here inside this resistance. So if you draw something like this, you realize this is sort of like a wedge. So if you take your, so this is sort of like a rising wedge and price actually broke below. So for a rising wedge, you're supposed to take profit here. So as you can see, since like price came back to retest and now price might be heading towards the downside, but for me, what I am looking for, like what I'm looking for here, is not a movement to the downside. So for now, I'm not really convinced if we can have a movement to the downside. So I took this as my resistance. So like I have my first touch over here, I have my second touch. Even if you extend this to here, you see price movement maybe from way back, something like this. So you get it at this like 1, 2, maybe third touch approximately here, then price moving to the upside. But for now, I will just take it from this area, take this area as my second resistance. So zooming it in, you'll see price bounced over here, came back to retest. So now pretty much I'm looking for price to move to from this area, going to the upside, test this, maybe consolidation, smaller consolidation, move to the upside, then from there you can actually shift to the downside. So that's my view on pound Aussie. Next pair is US dollar rand. So on US dollar rand, what you have, let me just start on a bigger time frame. Maybe I took the wrong, but it's still fine. You can actually see what I want to talk about. So on this time frame, what we want to talk about is where price is moving toward. So it seems like price was now moving near sort of like a channel from this area, with the highest highs over this area, high, then the lows below here. So what we had over the past 2 weeks is price moving downwards towards this. So when we had 2 hour time frame. So when we had the descending channel, this descending channel seems like price was now ready to pull back and test this neckline that we had and then continue to the downside. So for now, what am I looking for? I'm looking for price movement to the downside, but not as of this week, probably maybe the following week after this week. So going on to a 45-minute time frame, I'll just break down this. So let me just delete this for now, then you can actually see what I want to talk about. So after we had descending channels, like what I said, if price move from this area to here, it's only just gonna move a little bit faster to go back to the upside till where it started over this area. So this was the position where, like, this is the returns for this descending channel, so up to here. So what now can I look for? So first, last week we had this double bottom, so with the first area being touched over this area, then the second one over this area, then we had price shooting to the upside. This was the neckline that we had. So for the neckline, for the double bottom, but if you want to know how you can get your returns, so from this area to where we started, that's approximately 1.7%. So 1.7%, if you actually count it to upside, you see it's a little bit below here. So this was our neckline. As you can see, this was our neckline from way back. So this is a major resistance. So this is key area, you understand. So this is corresponding with the headage, with the double bottom that we had, so 1.7%. and if you go down to where we started with the double bottom, we have like 1.7. So pretty much right now I'm not looking for sell position straight away. I'm looking for price to pull back to the upside, test this and complete the returns for the double bottom, then from there we can actually sell. So on a smaller time frame, what I'm looking forward, like I'm looking forward for price to move in a sort of like a ascending channel. So I'm looking for price to test again this support, then move in sort of like a ascending channel. So I'm looking for 1, 2, 3 touch over here. Price should move toward this confluence, and from there we can actually move to the downside. So we still have like a bigger move to the downside. We have to reach approximately like 14 rand, so $1 to 14 rand. So this is the price that we are supposed to reach. So for now, maybe you can just sell to here, but like maybe in here in South Africa probably you won't be awake, so you just have to, when we wake up, my price will be already here. So just have to wait for bullish movement toward this confluence. So gbpusd, so pound US dollar, for this on a bigger time frame. So first we have this descending channel and prices to move up to this area, and from there you can actually look forward for either price movement to the upside or price movement to the downside. So overall the price movement is supposed to be bullish. Then going on a smaller time frame, let's just skip to 2 hour time frame, then you can actually see what I'm talking about. So this is just a slowdown. So as you saw on our previous pair, we had a descending channel. So if price is actually moving faster to the downside, then you have a descending channel. Now it seems like price has to pull back a bit, then it can actually continue with the same movement to the downside. So that's the same as what we have here. Seems like price has to reach the upper part around this area of this descending channel, but for now it seems like price has been slowing down a bit. So pretty much price can actually pull back, pull to the upside, then pull back, then we can actually continue with movement to the upside. So that's another scenario that can actually happen. Or you can have price only pulling back from this area going to downside, then from there you can actually have price moving to the upside. So on a smaller time frame, what am I looking for? Let me go on 30, let's go on a 15-minute time frame, then you can actually get this channel as a bigger channel, then you can actually have a clear view of what we're looking for. So As you can see, price has been respecting this high highs and this low low. So this support has been respected, this resistance has been respected. So what is the difference that we have right now? Is the difference that we have is like price went down and shoot up straight up, and it came back again in a sort of like a wedge. It seems like price is not really convinced that there's no movement to the downside, so you can actually have price shooting down right now as the market opens. So for this movement, of course, you have like a descending wedge, so normally you can actually buy, wait for consolidation, then from there you can actually continue with the upside movement. But you can also have maybe a jump, then you can actually have price continuing, coming back to retest, then you can actually continue with moving to the downside. As I said, we have to pull back a bit and then we can continue. So you can actually have price pulling back to this end of this channel, then we can actually continue to the upside, or you can have price pulling back straight to this area like 1.22, then from there you can actually move back to the upside. So that's what I have for this week, guys. I hope you like the video. If you do and you haven't subscribed, please just subscribe to the channel. We actually post more videos on Sunday and every Wednesday.